I can't.
What's up? What's up? Welcome in. Welcome in. It's the JC Money and Coach Greg Sports Show. We're here to talk about a little bit SuperDraft Pro. Some of the main slates tonight. It was a little bit early, a little bit hour early today. So I'm glad you guys got in. Glad you guys are coming to hang out with us. I know Hustler's got all his playoff league. What are they called? They're like 100-yard dashes to figure out.
Yeah.
Our draft order and shit. But yeah, those will be going on today too. So be on the lookout for those. But let's talk about some basketball. Let's get into some of the stuff that happened last night. See who's up in here right now. I know we got David up in here, always in here showing the love. What's up, David? I know people will start piling in here a little bit sooner or later, but let's get going. Let's talk about some things. I mean, I know basketball was bad for me last night. Some of the guys that I was thinking about. I mean, I had one good call, though. I know I made one good call. Let's see here. All right. Let's get into some stuff. Let's get into some of the studs from last night.
Yeah, so Giannis was Giannis last night, so he had 71.5 points. Obviously, the one multiplier, so he's really good. Jaylen Brown ended up with a triple-double last night, 56.25 before the multiplier, 67.5 after the multiplier. Donovan Mitchell, who I did talk about, a little bit towards the end there, and I think he was in one of those lineups that we kind of threw together towards the end as well. 56 points before the multiplier, ended up with 67.2 after the multiplier, and then Anthony Edwards. I think, was Anthony Edwards on last night's slate?
Oh, maybe I messed up.
Yeah, I think he wasn't on last night's slate, but I do have Kristen Middleton down in my notes too. He ended up with 50.5 times his 1.3 multiplier. He ended up with 65.65, so he was good too as well. Actually, we were kind of talking about those three forwards for Milwaukee with Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Bobby Portis, and I said maybe you don't play all three, but actually all three did end up paying off yesterday if you played all three.
That's dope. I mean, it does happen like that sometimes. We have seen that in the past.
Especially when the rest of the team's kind of scrubs too. Hopefully nobody played Jordan Nwora because he's 1 for 11 shooting yesterday.
Oh man, he's been. I mean, even the night before he screwed us a little bit, huh?
Yeah, if you played him, yeah. That's why I'm off that dude. If he doesn't shoot well, he's just done for.
All right, let's see who else is up in here. What's up? What up, Donnie? What's up, my brother? Second Take Extra in the building. Yo, what up? He says, what is up?
Yeah. So let's see what we got next. Dart throws that paid off. So
my man Emmanuel.
I'm going to start with Lance Stevenson. He's just been ridiculous the last two games. Thought maybe what happened last night because they got Chris Duarte and Jeremy Lamb both back, but they both only played about 16, 18 minutes apiece. So Lance Stevenson came out. He played well, really, really, really well once again. So I believe he had a double-double and just played really, 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 really well. And it's probably not, if you go out and points chase it next time, it's probably going to fail miserably. Not anybody really was chasing him yesterday because he wasn't even in one of the top lineups, even though he had 115 points. Then Trey Lyles coming off the bench, he played I think it was 26 minutes. So Isaiah Stewart's still in kind of a minute limit. It seems like at 20. Lyles played really well off the bench, 44.25 points before the multiplier, 81.66 after the multiplier. Not a guy that was super popular yesterday. Duncan Robinson, not in that starting lineup, but did very well off the bench. He had 8 3-pointers yesterday, so that definitely propelled him up quite a bit. 37.5 points before the multiplier, 65.63 after the multiplier. And then Emmanuel Quickly, who we talked a little bit about on this show as well. He had that 1.75 multiplier, 29.75 points before the multiplier, 52.06 after the multiplier. So Quickly definitely paid off. He was in that starting lineup and he played big minutes. And fun fact, the Knicks were pretty bad yesterday, but they only had one guy off their bench score points. So Quentin Grimes had 6 points. The rest of their bench had 0 points. So that's pretty unfortunate for the Knicks team overall. And who is it? Antonio in here? That's the Knicks fan that's usually up in here.
Yep,
he's probably not too happy today. Maybe that's why he's not up in here today.
Yeah. I wonder if Donnie's asking a question about fantasy basketball. So
yeah.
Donnie, what's the question, brother?
Yeah. If you got fantasy basketball questions, you can throw them up in there, and might just need to give us a little bit of context as well.
Tell them where they can find you to ask some dynasty or some fantasy questions for basketball, because you have a bunch of places where people can come find you.
Yeah, so you can get at me on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, or you can always comment on any of my basketball DFS videos as well. Any comments that you have as well on Coach Craig Sports on YouTube as well. So if you want to reach out there, that's perfectly fine as well.
Throw it in there though, Donnie. If you got a question, we'll answer it.
Yep.
Facebook user, what's up? Throw in the get over to YouTube, Facebook user, or get over to YouTube. I don't know if this is Zeb or throw in the trees or throw in T Money, because I know there's a couple guys that get in here that are Facebook users. Get over, get subbed up on one of our YouTube pages. Actually, both our YouTube pages. JC Money Designs. We can find me at Coach Craig Sports is where you can find Craig. So let's get into some of the duds, man. I mean, fuck, so up and down. What happened with Chris Paul?
So yeah, so what was it? There's something that happened to him while he wasn't as good, but I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. So he just wasn't that good yesterday. He was 21.5 points before the multiplier, 27.95 after the multiplier. A guy that we think of as this relatively safe floor type play. 8 out of 10 times he's going to be good for you. We just got one of the 20% times, that wasn't quite as good. Jason Tatum was the opposite end. Obviously it was Jaylen Brown game. So they kind of go back and forth. Like we mentioned yesterday, maybe you play the 6 same guys and make 2 different lineups, one with Jaylen Brown, one with Jason Tatum. Then you kind of have yourself covered. And maybe if you catch the right game, you have both those guys when they do all right, and you're still good either way. Then DeAndre Ayton, that was his first game back. He had 1.25 multiplier, 26.5 points, 33.13. So for it being his first game back, it's not bad, but if you played him, you're not happy with him. Let's just put it that way. And then Big Al Horford, once again, 18 points, that 1.35 multiplier. He ended up with 24.3. I think he only played about 20 minutes last night too. So, he's not the youngest guy in the world, spring chicken, so they might be tailing back his minutes just a little bit once again. So probably a guy I'm going to stay off of until his multiplier kind of catches up and gets a little bit higher once again.
All right, let's see here. Then, comment. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. Donnie says head-to-head points, league game, pick format on sleeper. I'm up by 8. Opponent has Norm Powell left to play. Who should I play? Monk versus Memphis, Anthony versus Sacramento, or who's KPG?
Kevin Porter Jr.
Oh, yeah, Kevin Porter.
Yeah. So, hey, there's Antonio coming in.
What up? There he is. Speak of the devil. What up, Antonio?
We're talking about how bad your Knicks played last night. But back to Donnie's question real quick. This is a tough one too. So you got Monk, who's been hot shooting the ball lately. Anthony Simons, obviously we've seen what he can do on a big night. Kevin Porter Jr., he's super boom bust. He's either going to do great tonight or he's going to suck. There's no in between with him. I feel like Anthony Simons probably the easiest one for me to get behind, especially when your opponent has Norman Powell. They're kind of on the same team though too. So if Powell kind of isn't doing the greatest tonight, then Simons is probably going off. Sacramento's a pretty easy matchup as well. And then the other two, Monk and Kevin Porter Jr., they both could do a lot, but they both could go terribly wrong if they're not shooting the ball well.
True. And Monk did really well. I can't remember if he did really well last night, but it was the night before where he actually did really, really well, shooting the ball really well.
2 nights ago, he had 27 points, but he's just a guy all he does is score. Usually doesn't do a whole heck of a lot else. And then in that head-to-head points league too, if you're using Kevin Porter Jr., he's a big turnover guy. So not sure how your league penalizes the turnovers or not, but sometimes in those type of leagues that the turnovers get they hurt you a little bit more. So probably not the best in Kevin Porter Jr.
Yeah. All right. What I'm gonna do here. Got some stuff from. This is just look how tired I was. I noticed it earlier. I got Mobley in here twice, so we're definitely have to play him apparently because my brain was saying to play him twice.
Yeah, he's gonna. that Cleveland Golden State game is going to be really interesting overall tonight. So yeah, that's just the ones that we did have right away last night. I got a couple more in my notes that we threw in throughout the day. Some of the ones that are even just coming up before, we got on here even.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. The best part about this too is like that's why it's nice for us to kind of talk up to close to where it started. At least the first games.
Yeah, so there is 2 games that start right away at what it'll be 5:00 our time, 6:00 Eastern time. I always try to say the Eastern time just in my videos, but when we're on here, we kind of talk Central time because it's easier because that's what both of us are in. But so in terms of the guards, we got Seth Curry. He's a 1 multiplier. Obviously, he missed the last time out with that little bit of an injury. Whether or not it was really bad or not, it's a whole nother question. They play against Cleveland Cavaliers, not like the greatest defensive team in the world, at least. So Steph Curry, if he's shooting the ball well, he's definitely going to be somebody that's in play tonight. Fred VanVleet, we saw his first career triple-double last time out. JC Money over there, he's never going to let me live that down, but he's definitely in play once again tonight. He had the 1 bad game before that as well. So as long as he's out there, if he's playing well, I'm trying to remember who they play tonight too. They play the Pelicans. So that is a game that should stay pretty competitive. The Raptors might get it out ahead a little bit there. And that might kill some of his value off at the very end, but not anything I'm too concerned about like last time where I was more concerned about Utah playing with like all their 3rd string guys. Then we got Darius Garland. He's at 1.25. One of my favorite players to play on any DFS slate. So he's definitely in play once again. It's a game against the Golden State Warriors. They're going to, he's going to be a valuable part of this Cleveland team. Otherwise, they're probably not going to stay in the game with the Warriors. Cole Anthony's up next. He's at 1.3. We saw him come back. I think it was 2 games ago. Played last night. Played pretty well last night as well. He's not resting on the back-to-back, so I would assume that his ankle is pretty much full strength at this time, so he's looking like a decent play as well. I have Tyrese Haliburton on here at 1.35. De'Aaron Fox is dealing with a shoulder injury. He's questionable to play tonight. So if he doesn't play, Tyrese Haliburton looks like a great play because we've seen so many times this year what Haliburton can do when Fox isn't out there on the court, and it's just massive. Like, if Fox doesn't play, I think you have to play Haliburton pretty much. Let's see. Jalen Brunson, he's at 1.4. I like him a lot, but he's another guy that depends if Luka plays tonight or not. Luka is still questionable at this point in time. I don't think he ends up playing, but that's just my, kind of thoughts on it at this point in time. I could definitely be wrong. We haven't really heard any more updates on that throughout the day, though, so which I would assume that he's probably out, but it's kind of early to tell still. That game, I do believe, starts at, I think, was it 6:30 our time or 5:30 our time? I can't remember off the top of my head. And then last but not least, those 2 Portland Trailblazers guards at 1.45 each. We've seen them both play very well at times since, Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum were not out there on the court. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the guards.
No questions in here, so let's move on. We got no questions in here, so we're going to move along here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about some forwards. Looks like LeBron's in play again.
Yeah, LeBron's always in play at that 1 multiplier. We saw what he did the last time out was pretty good. Pascal Siakam, your other main Raptor guy besides Fred VanVleet at 1.2, definitely has a ton of upside. He has that. I think Pascal Siakam has a pretty safe floor on most nights, at least, unless he gets in foul trouble or he gets hurt or something like that. But that's pretty much anyone. Brandon Ingram, he's at 1.2. He had that nice game. He remembered how to shoot the last time out. Definitely in play once again. They are without Josh Hart tonight as well. So, Josh Hart's not a guy that he's going to get like a lot of shots or anything, but Josh Hart is a very, very good rebounder for a guy that's his size. So Brandon Ingram might get a couple extra rebounds tonight. So that's a couple extra points because Garrett Temple is probably going to replace Josh Hart in the lineup, and he's not as good of a rebounder as Josh Hart is, obviously. Let's see where we're at. Then we had Evan Mobley at 1.35, definitely in play. I like both big men tonight for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Evan Mobley and Jarrett Allen, playing against Golden State, who obviously Golden State doesn't have a ton of size. They could kind of play some bully ball with some of these bigger guys. So it'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. Jaren Jackson Jr. is 1.35 multiplier as well. Obviously had a big game yesterday. He does do pretty well when John Morant's not out there on the court. He's questionable. I don't think John Morant's going to play tonight, but that is like the last game of the night as well. So maybe have a pivot option available in that game if John Morant does end up playing. Maybe Jaren Jackson's not quite as good looking then. Let's see. And they are without Dylan Brooks, and then now Desmond Bane has come out as questionable as well. So they could be kind of short a couple starters tonight So that would definitely help out Jaren Jackson. Tim
Mm.
Hardaway is just kind of like one night. Like I didn't have anybody else between like the 1.35 and the dart throw. So I kind of threw Tim Hardaway on there. Played all right the last couple games, shooting the ball a little bit better. If Luka doesn't play, maybe he's in that starting lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it's always fun to throw one of them guys in there. Tim Hardaway. I like that call. I actually do like that call. All right, let's talk about some centers here. All right, let's see. Hold on. I'm going to see what we got here for a question. Tommy says, I was a little hurt I didn't play FEV the night too, Jay. Yeah, dude, Fred VanVleet, man. Oh, my God. Like I said, $200 would have been really nice. Would have been really nice.
Yeah.
That's okay. It happens. We're still in the money. All that matters is we're still in the money.
Yes, sir. So then we get down to the centers. There's 4 main guys today. So we have both Nikolai's, which Nikolai Jokic, he's always going to play every night, 1 multiplier. Nikolai Vucevic, though, for the Chicago Bulls, he's starting to play better once again. So he's at 1.15. If he maintains that once again tonight, should be pretty good. Jared Allen kind of talked about him with Evan Mobley a little bit as well. If they're able to get a little bit of bully ball going on against this Golden State team, Jared Allen and Evan Mobley both have a chance to do pretty good. And then Joseph Nurkic, he's been playing very well. All of a sudden, he didn't get in foul trouble last time out. Hasn't really gotten in foul trouble lately. So the fact that he played big minutes, even with Cody Zeller coming back, definitely bodes well for him and has some upside as well tonight, even though his multiplier went down just a little bit.
Yeah, and I definitely have Nurkic in my he's in my lineup tonight as my center.
Yeah. So those are definitely the 4 main ones that I'd be looking at.
All right. All right. Let's talk about some of our dart throws.
Yeah, and I see Antonio down there in the comments too. He is like, I was pissed watching the Knicks game yesterday. So he put 100 of his free $300 from the Caesars Sportsbook on him. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate, but like I said, this might have been before you even got in here, Antonio, but their bench only scored 6 points, and it was all Quentin Grimes. Nobody else on the bench scored any points. So it's kind of hard to win like that, especially when the Knicks' strength for most of the year and most of last year was even their bench play. So, but some of those guys are in the starting lineup right now too. So,
all right, dart throw darlings, baby. Tyus Jones again.
Yeah, so Tyus is up there. This is obviously if John Morant does not end up playing. So if John Morant ends up playing, probably don't want to play Tyus Jones. But you could always, but that's the nice part about it. If John Morant plays, you can just switch over to John Morant. If he doesn't play, you just play Tyus Jones. It's pretty simple there. So it's not like super rocket science at that point. Who else I'd throw down there? I threw Garrett Temple down as a dart throw as well in my notes now. This is just before we got on the show. He's a 2 multiplier. He's going to be starting for the Pelicans tonight. Probably a guy that gets you around 20 points, but every once in a while he'll get like a 28-point game, which would get you at 56 SuperDraft points, which would definitely be in play. Then the forwards that we got there is Chetty Osman, 1.75. He came back the last time out. He played close to 30 minutes, I want to say off the top of my head. He definitely has some upside. I don't think he's going to be in the starting lineup because JB Bickerstaff doesn't like starting Chetty Osman for whatever reason. He likes having him come off the bench. But if he plays big minutes, once again, if he's shooting the ball well, if he's doing a couple of those other things well, because he is a guy that can fill up the stat sheet rather easily as well, could definitely be in play at the 1.75. Brandon Clark as well. Let's see. And so Brandon Clark at 1.75. He had a monster game yesterday. Obviously, the Steven Adams is out. He's on the COVID list. Brandon Clark should get some more minutes there. They do get Xavier Tillman back from the COVID list tonight too as well. He can play some big minutes. But I think he's probably just going to eat up the Tilly minutes more than anything, Xavier Tillman. So I think Brandon Clark's minutes are still safe at this point in time, and he definitely has a ton of upside as well. Kevon Looney, he's on here just because for the Warriors, he might have to play big minutes tonight going against Jared Allen and Evan Mobley. They might have to have him out there on the court more often than not as compared to some other games. So that makes him a true dart throw. If he's out there, if he gets some rebounds, if he does anything at all, could definitely put him up over the edge at 1.85. And let's see, who else did I add? I added somebody else too. Oh, Chuma Okeke I added as well. He's a 1.85 multiplier. He is starting at power forward for the Magic today, and Wendell Carter Jr. is out. So Chuma Okeke at 1.85. We've seen him have some pretty good games so far this season, but a lot of them did come when Cole Anthony was out as well. So whether or not he gets there tonight is one question, but if you want to take a chance on that, it's kind of like it's kind of like Emmanuel quickly last night where he might get there, he might not get there, but it's worth taking a chance on in a couple different lineups if you want to do so. Then last but not least, we got those center dart throws. Like Dwight Powell at 2x. I'm going to talk about him first just because there's no Kristaps Porzingis once again. if he gets out there, if he gets his 25 points, he gets up to 50 points. That's a decent, respectable score on SuperDraft. But, he's eligible at forward and center, so that's kind of nice. Because if you get up to 50 at center, you're probably just better off having like a Nikolai Jokic or a Vucevic or a Nurkic or somebody like that anyways. So he might be a little bit better off at the forward position, but he technically is a center, and he looks better on the sheet when we put him down there as a center as well. Alex Len, we've seen him play big minutes last time out. Damon Jones has been starting, but he's been getting in foul trouble a lot lately. Alex Len played very well last time out. So if Damon Jones gets in foul trouble again, if Alex Len somehow draws that like start at 1.85, he could be very interesting. So a true dart throw once again.
Dwight Powell.
Hey, they gave him a pretty good contract a couple years back too. He played pretty well for a while, and then now he's just a guy.
Just a guy.
But if he plays 28 minutes and he gets 25 points, then he can get up to 50. But like I was saying, and just if he's only at 50 on the center position, I think you rather have one of the other four guys. But the fact that you can play him at forward too is very valuable.
All right. Well, you got some injury updates. Any injury updates? You want to talk injuries? You want to talk any lineups? Does any lineups come out?
Give me 1 second. I'll refresh this page over here. So, come on, page. So let's see. So we have 3 starting lineups for there's 2 games that start right away at 5:00 our time at least. So the Wizards are starting Spencer Dinwiddie, Bradley Beal, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Kyle Kuzma, and Daniel Gafford. So that's the same 5 starting lineup as they started most of the year when everybody's kind of available. Montrezl Harrell's out once again, so Gafford should still see sizable minutes at the center position. His multiplier is a little bit higher, so that's why he's not really on the list as of late. They do get Rui Hachimura back too as well. It'd be really interesting to see if he fills in behind Kuzma at the power or forward position or center behind Gafford, which minutes he takes up there. But there's already been a note saying that his minutes restriction will be around 16 minutes. So I'm not really concerned about him. He's not a guy that I really want to play at this point in time. Obviously, since he's only playing 16 minutes, he has to play out of his mind to even do it. And he's been a guy that hasn't played yet this season. They do get Davis Bertans back tonight too. He's been dealing with a foot injury. Not a guy that you're chasing on a super draft, but maybe a guy that takes a couple minutes away from somebody else. Then for the Orlando Magic, we have Cole Anthony, Gary Harris, Franz Wagner, Chuma Okeke, who I did mention earlier in that dart throw section, and then Mo Bamba starting. So same lineup as yesterday, except Chuma Okeke starting instead of Freddie Gillespie, which makes it a lot more interesting because Okeke was getting more minutes anyways. The fact that he's in the starting lineup, maybe gives him a couple extra minutes over what he did yesterday. Wendell Carter Jr. is out once again today. So otherwise, pretty much the same for the Magic. So and then we get down to the Pelicans, who are without, So the Pelicans are starting Devontae Graham, Brandon Ingram, Garrett Temple, Herbert Jones, and Jonas Valanciunas. So that's pretty much what we expected. Like I said, Josh Hart is out tonight. Garrett Temple is starting in his place. He's a 2x multiplier. If you want to take that dart throw, you can go there. But sometimes it's going to pan out. Sometimes it's not with him. Then they are playing Toronto. Toronto should be the same 5 guys as we've seen recently with them for Fred VanVleet, Gary Trent, OG Anunoby, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam. That's the first group of games that start right at 5:00 Central Time, 6:00 Eastern Time. A couple other injuries throughout the day. Patrick Beverley's questionable once again for the Timberwolves. The Rockets, pretty much the same as we've been looking at. They got a couple of rotational players out, so we're not really too concerned about them on Super Draft. The Denver Nuggets, pretty much what they've been looking like. I don't really want to play anybody on the Nuggets except Nikolai Jokic anyways. The Thunder without Isaiah Roby's, Derek Favors is questionable, but their center rotation's a mess anyways. If you're looking at anybody on Oklahoma State Thunder, it's probably Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, maybe Josh Giddey, maybe Aaron Wiggins as a dart throw, but I'm not super interested in the Thunder overall. The Bulls pretty much have the same guys out as they've been having out. The biggest thing we're looking for out of Dallas is if Luka plays tonight or not. Porzingis is obviously still out. Cleveland Cavaliers pretty much healthy at this point in time. Golden State Warriors, the big news that we do have here is Klay Thompson is going to play tonight. We have no word whether how many minutes he's going to play tonight, if he's going to actually be in the starting lineup. And personally, I think them bringing him back, they should have him come off the bench to start, at least build up his minutes slowly, kind of get some scoring off that bench too, a little bit more even. Let's see. Then the Kings, obviously, they have De'Aaron Fox questionable once again. They have so Damon Jones did get ruled out now. So Alex Len looks interesting at 1.85 at the center position tonight. Metu is listed as questionable now as well, so he was upgraded. Then let's see. Oh, Norman Powell got ruled out for the Blazers now. So who's asking that question? Was that Don? Who is it? Donnie that was asking the question?
Yeah, let me see. Let me scroll up to it.
And Donnie Vez. So he was asking. He said his opponent had Norman Powell, and Norman Powell just got ruled out for tonight. So that's looking pretty good for you, then, Donnie.
There you go, Donnie.
I mean,
hopefully he can't pivot. Hopefully he's paying attention.
I mean, you could probably still pick somebody up, but then he has to drop Powell too, which not the best right now. And yeah, Norm's out. Apparently that just happened. So yeah, David, for the dart throw guards that we do have, we have Tyus Jones if John Moran is ruled out. That's like the last game of the night, so we're not going to hear that news for a while probably. And then the other one that I did have was Garrett Temple. He's a 2x multiplier. He's starting in place of Josh Hart tonight for the Pelicans. Let's see. Yeah, Norm Powell was placed in COVID protocol, so he's not going to be playing for a couple games now.
Donnie.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Out. Hell yeah, Donnie's celebrating.
Good.
Better hope he's not paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, and then lastly, we have the Grizzlies they have John Morant, Yves Pons, Desmond Bane, and Kyle Anderson. All this is questionable, so there could be a lot of value in that game. Just kind of depends if these guys get ruled out or not. I don't really have a lean too much, but Desmond Bane popped up on the middle of the day, so that typically means they don't play. So I don't think Desmond Bane's playing. If John Morant doesn't play, then we got Tyus Jones there. Maybe you look at a D'Anthony Melton as a dart throw kind of there too as well if he's in the starting lineup. Kyle Anderson, if he doesn't play, there's going to be somebody else that starts that's probably going to have a pretty good multiplier. But like I said, that's the last game of the night. It's 9:30 Eastern game, 8:30 our time game. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of injury news that's going to be coming out later today, so be careful.
We got any more lineups or anything to talk about?
No, we're only waiting on that Raptors one, essentially. Oh, and we already know essentially what their starting lineup's going to be too.
I wish I was watching that game. Huge fight going on. That sounds like a blast to watch. Especially when the whole bench clears.
Yeah. Oh God, you know what that means?
Whoa.
But
the hands are being thrown, bodies are everywhere.
Huh.
Let the bodies hit the floor, baby.
So actually there is another potential dart throw for now that Norman Powell is out. So my boy, Ben McLemore, I don't know exactly what his multiplier is, but without Norman Powell out there,
let's pull this
he might end up starting. He might not end up starting. Say that again.
Let's pull this up and take a look.
Yeah, I'll look real quick here for McLemore.
McLemore, dude.
That's my boy. That's like my favorite player that ever played at Kansas, even though he was only there for 1 year. That dude could do everything. He is a 2x multiplier. So if you want to take a shot on Ben, rule number 16 is in play tonight. So rule number 16 is my personal rule. If Ben McLemore is a viable option on any slate, I will play him in at least one lineup. I think he's talking about Antonio's coming in there too. With he's like Norma's out, or after Norma's out, he's like, go pick up his backup to block your opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can pick up Ben McLemore then. I ain't against that ever. 12 players are being ejected.
David said he missed the 2 times multiplier. Just tell him the one you just said right now. Tell him again.
Oh, the last one? So the one I just talked about was Ben McLemore for the Portland Trailblazers. And then the one before that was Garrett Temple for the New Orleans Pelicans. And Temple's eligible at guard and forward as well.
Whoa, 12 players are being ejected. MJ, you should tell us you should hit us up with the information. Let us know who's being ejected. Like any prime players, like receivers, any defensive players that are big names. So I wonder if these are some of the backups now and they're just fist fighting because they're pissed off.
I don't think it's the backups. They're playing for they're playing for the AFC East title still.
The Jets aren't. Maybe they're just fuck it. We're just going to fight everyone.
Let's see.
How do you spell
now I got to build a Ben McLemore lineup.
I don't see him in here. He's in here?
Yeah, he's a guard. MCLE. He's a 2x multiplier,
here
so
we
it'd be
go.
at the bottom.
MCLE. I was spelling it wrong. I kind of want to do that in one of these. This is the kind of the lineup that I set myself. So I got Van Vliet at guard. I had Garland at guard. I had Anthony at guard. And that's from Orlando. Anthony from Orlando. Cole Anthony. And then I got LeBron James at forward, Kyle Kuzma at forward, and then Evan Mobley at forward, and then Nurkic at center.
Yeah, let's see. So I just kind of threw mine together real quick, but or before I did. So I had Tyrese Halliburton, Cole Anthony, Fred VanVleet, LeBron James, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson, and then Nikola Jokic is what I had initially, just kind of throwing something together real quick. But I am playing Ben McLemore tonight. I don't care.
I got a couple of them, so we can set a couple of my lineups if you guys want to. I don't care.
Yep.
I mean, you guys helped me win money the other night. That was pretty dope. That was pretty dope. And I like interaction with you guys. I appreciate you guys coming on and hanging out with us. And
yes, sir.
This is always a good time. Let's see here. So I'm going to run with this one for this one. I'm going to do like, because I have like 4 just dollar lineups. So I'm going to do like 2 different ones in that one. And then I'll probably just, let's see.
And actually, the fact that Norm Powell's out tonight too, it makes Nurkic look a little bit better as well. Just because there's one less guy that takes shots. I mean, McLemore's gonna come in and take shots too, but McLemore's not quite as good as Norm Powell. Maybe it depends on the night, honestly.
Maybe
the coaches don't think that. At least let's put it that way. Norm Powell's a better.
I want to see who's getting ejected, man. That should be crazy.
Norm Powell's a better defender than McLemore is, though. That's definitely for sure. I'm just excited that rule number 16 is in play tonight.
Rule 16.
That's what I call it when McLemore's
is that a number or what?
No, he wore number 1 in college. It's just kind of like my joke. I just like picked a random number for it. Because like rule number 1 would be like, put all your like if you're playing on like DraftKings or something, put all your early guys like in your guard, like point guard, shooting guard, small forward, those spots, and then leave your like guard, forward, and utility spots open, kind of like flex for football. You don't put your Thursday night player in the flex.
Yeah,
that would be like rule number 1. Rule number 2 is like play guys that are good values. Like like it's not like a tip. It's not like a rule way up at the top. So I put it like 16 on it. I'm like,
I like that. It's funny.
Oh, you know what? Screw it. I'm playing Jaren Jackson instead of Brandon Clark on FanDuel.
What about Steph Curry tonight? I don't know, man.
He's fine, but he's just
I think so too.
It sucks because he's a 1x multiplier. So if he doesn't do well, then you're just like screwed.
I don't know how his shit hasn't moved because like he has been not fine.
Yeah, but like you gotta understand, like the first 2 months of the season, the guy was getting like he was averaging like over 60 points a game for fantasy points and stuff. So he was just ridiculous at the beginning. He's really hot and cold. So looks like we got OG and so we got a couple up in there. Who's that? Nigel Milosev.
Oh, OG Anunoby. How do you say his last name?
Anunoby. So he is a 1.35 multiplier. You can play him tonight. If he has an upside game, he's definitely going to be in play. If he doesn't, then he's probably not going to help your lineup. If he has an average game, he's probably not going to help your lineup. But if he does a little bit better, then he'll be in play.
Nigel, what up, dude? How is it going? I'm pretty sure he's all the way from Serbia. That's where he's at. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because it says like the coins there were like RSD or something. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah. So what's up, man? It's always good to see you around. It's always good. I mean, it's gonna be dope when you can finally get SuperDraft out there, get you playing, because he's always like, damn it, I'm gonna get in there. Fucking Cole. Who the hell is that?
What?
TD for the Jets.
It's Keelan Cole Senior, not Junior.
Yeah.
But
Okay. I thought it was gonna be Keelan Cole. I thought
yeah,
so. I was like, what the?
Antonio said Senior in another comment there
Oh,
too. Yeah. Oh, dude, you know what? I played my DraftKings lineup that was doing pretty well. I think has Keelan Cole in it. He
really?
scored. Yeah.
I mean, the one you had. I mean, I'm winning some money right now. Like, I mean,
Oh,
as long as you play, I played St. Brown for sure in all my lineups.
yeah. So no, the SuperDraft Pro contest I got for NFL, I'm in like 8th right now.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I saw you. You play a bunch of like random guys. I was like, damn, that was kind of smart.
I play. Let's see. So I'm in 9th in the elite now, but I was 1 to 2 people to play Andy Dalton, but he had a 1.6 multiplier, so I'm just like, why not? And it's the Vikings. The Vikings defense is not good. I know you're Minnesota, but they're not good.
No,
Jonathan Taylor was my worst player by far. And 70% of the field played him. Cooper Kupp, 65% of the field played, and he's like my second worst player. George Kittle's killing me, actually. George Kittle and Gabe Davis are killing me right now, but I played Patrick. I jumped on the Patrick Taylor train, man. Him and Darnell, and then I went with the Mooney and the Dalton stack. That paid off.
Mooney. It was Mooney. Yeah, he did really well, man. Like he was getting targeted like a mofo.
If only had a touchdown. So
He was
were
getting
you at?
targeted.
What?
He was getting like peppered. Like
Yeah, but he didn't get a touchdown.
Yeah, that's true.
So Tom Brady touchdown to Le'Veon Bell. That just happened.
Wow.
It was like a 1-yard pass, supposedly.
What do you mean? Oh, here you go. He wants to know how do you points calculate on SuperDraft Pro? Well, there's blocks and there's steals, there's assists, there's shots. Like every time they make a shot, you get whatever it's times their multiplier, and then what? It's plus 0.5, right? Then it's 0.5 for threes, right? You get an extra 0.5.
Okay. Yeah, if you get over to the lineup, I'll go through that real quick. How they're scored.
What did you want me to pull up?
Obviously, points like your real life points is your real life points. So if you have 20 real life points, you get 20 fantasy points. If you have a turnover, you get -1 points. Then steals and blocks are worth 3 points apiece. Assists are worth 1.5. Rebounds are 1.25 points. Then 3-pointers, you get 0.5 for each one made. And then let's see. Where was I at? If you get double, it's worth 1.5 points. If you get triple-double, I think it's 3 or 4 points. I can't remember off the top of my head.
It shows. Where's the
Yeah. Donnie, last couple of 25+ minute points. Ben McLemore has scored 28 points. Yeah. Ben McLemore is my dude. Like, he had a game earlier this year. He played like 15, 16 minutes and he dropped like 27 points. The dude can score in bunches. Like, and that's why I said it's Rule 16. Like, sometimes he comes out and he plays a lot and he just sucks. But like most of the time he comes out and plays pretty well. Not a lot of people play him. Nobody plays him. Like,
so here's your contest rules right here.
God, Kyler Murray's sucking.
Yeah, I did not play him. I played Josh Allen. I wanted what I tried to do was I wanted Josh Allen, Singletary, and Gabe Davis to be a stack.
Yeah, but I played Gabe Davis too.
I didn't. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So you got the double is 1.5, double 1.5. Turnovers are -1, but you got to remember everything multiplies. Everything
whatever the multiplier is.
So that's what's crazy.
God, who I take out now?
Yeah, no Norman Powell. So you said Simons.
Yeah, Simons definitely looks better. Him and Ben McLemore. Rule 16.
You said better than McLemore? I think you're still starting McLemore, aren't you?
Good question. You can play both even if you really want to. What am I doing? I'm just trying to get McLemore in my other lineups now.
I'm playing D'Angelo Russell. They play what? They play Houston tonight.
Yeah, that game could be a blowout though.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, I kind of want to play one where there's just a bunch of Timberwolves. I've already been thinking about that. Earlier, I had them both in. I had him and Edwards in, and then I was gonna play what's his name at forward. They're like
No, you're not going back to Jared Vanderbilt after his multiplier dropped.
Did it drop?
Yeah, it
Oh,
dropped by like
1.4
0.2.
now?
And he's not going to get 16 rebounds again. That's never going to happen again. Cat multiplier. Carl Anthony Towns multiplier is 1.1 tonight.
Nigel wants to know what Cat's multiplier is.
1.1. I just said it.
Yeah, 1.1. Let's see. I'm gonna play Kuzma on this one. I think I'm just gonna let this one kind of roll how I had it. So we're gonna keep Macklemore in this one. So I got Van Vliet. All right. How do we want to?
Hold on, let me see. So you got Van Vliet, Ben McLemore, D'Lo, LeBron James. I am so concerned about playing Kuzma. Like, just the fact Dinwiddie's back now, Hachimura's back. Like, well, I guess Hachimura's only playing 16
was back
minutes.
The other night.
Yeah, but it was the first game back for Dinwiddie, and it was the first game, and this is the first. It just depends where Hachimura plays. Does Hachimura take minutes away from Kuzma, or does he take minutes away from Gafford? That's the question. I think it's Gafford.
Then?
What?
We play Simmons then? I mean, that's too much. That's too much. That's what we got. That's too much Portland.
Yeah, just play Simmons. So if you play multiple lineups, play one with Simmons, one with Simons. Quit saying Simmons.
Yeah, sorry. I don't even know why I said Simmons because my brother-in-law's last name literally is Simon.
No, mainly I just said that because you start saying it.
Let's get a 2 times multiplier in here. So who did we have? That was like a good 2 times multiplier at forward.
At forward?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anybody that's 2 times. Brandon Clark looks okay at 1.75. Chumo Kiki's 1.85. The only 2-time multiplier was Dwight Powell, but he might not get there.
Brandon Clark?
Yeah, he's 1.75.
You're not making me very excited.
No, his minutes are. I'd be more excited if Tillman wasn't back tonight. Tillman could just ruin it.
You're not getting me very excited.
Because Tillman could be a pain in their butt. Alex Lynn at 1.85 is actually halfway interesting now. Just because there's no Jones ain't playing, so it's just him.
What about Beverly? Patrick Beverly?
He's questionable.
You're questionable.
He might not play. And if he plays, he's playing hurt. So yeah. So I see Nigel there. He's like, Tyus Jones for sure got to be in the lineup at 1.75. If John Morant doesn't play, so that's why I'm saying with Tyus Jones too. If John Morant doesn't play, Tyus Jones should definitely be in your lineup. If John Morant plays, then just play John Morant instead of Tyus Jones. It's an easy pivot at the very least.
All right, let's see here. Let's get rid of this. All right. I'm gonna set another goofy one, and let's set a really nice, solid lineup for these guys to play.
Okay.
I just kind of want to get a couple lineups in so people can kind of see where we're at. I mean, we liked the Hardaway too, didn't we? 1.65.
If Luka doesn't play, that's the thing. So he's one that you kind of have to wait for that news. But I mean, you can always put him in and then take him out. And the good thing about him too is if you really just want to, you could put him in, and then if Maxi Kleber's a steal, what's his multiplier? I think he's still at 1.75, but he got 26 points last time out. So 126 at 1.75 is not even worth playing. So
what about Porter?
Yeah. Who? No.
Kenny Porter?
No. He's too up and down.
Yeah, you're right. He is too up and down.
He's like the Tyler Lockett of NBA DFS. Let's just put it that way.
Yuck. I mean, that's not yuck, really, but
no, he'll win you a lot of money some nights, but he'll also lose you a lot of money some nights too.
Well, Bradley Beal, but I mean, with his 1.1 multiplier, doesn't even make me excited at all. All right, let's get somebody in here. What about Garland?
Who? Garland.
Darius Garland at 1.25.
Yeah, he's fine.
What?
He's fine.
So.
Oh, get Tate out of there.
Come on. Who's like better than fine? Fine.
What? Hold on. Doing 3 things at once here.
Right
So
there. We're gonna set one of these lineups though for everyone here soon.
Yeah. So I mean, if like you're running, so let's just say we're running a like regular lineup that we're trying to set for other people. So Luca's questionable. I probably wouldn't play him at 1 multiplier. Questionable, coming off COVID, been hurt half the year.
Well, I'm just trying to set this one right now, and then we're gonna go through and just set a nice solid lineup.
So just throw like Jaren Jackson in 1.35 for the Grizzlies.
You're not hot on Kuzma, but I'm just gonna leave it for now.
I'm cautiously optimistic about him because Dinwiddie's back, Hachimura's back. Like there's a. It's probably going to pan out 6 out of 10 times, but there's like 3 times.
We're going to throw Mobley in there. We'll throw Mobley in there.
Yeah, I don't hate him. But right, I think he's got a lot of upside in this game.
We'll just stick with this one for this one. Boom, boom. All right. We got like 6 minutes to get everyone a nice, solid lineup.
He said Graham. So Nigel's in there too. He said Graham a good play with heart out. He's a better play than he normally is, but he's been super streaky this year. So if his shot's going down, he looks a lot better. If his shot's not going down, then he doesn't look very good. The thing about Josh Hart is Josh Hart scores a lot of fantasy points, but he doesn't shoot the ball a ton. So
Max Heber a steal. What's his multiplier?
Who?
What's he say? Maxi Kleber?
I think he's 1.75. I don't think he's a steal because like even the last game he got like 26 points. So 26 points, like he has to score at least 30 points to be worth it. And he doesn't do that most of the time. So that's why I'm off of him.
All right. Let's clear this slate. Let's get one set up real quick for everybody. Let's get a nice solid one set up real quick.
Yep.
All right. So at guard, what would you say is a safe, solid play with upside?
Anthony Simons. So I think if you're just trying to get like the easiest, safest guards, you're probably going to be playing Anthony Simons. Cole Anthony at 1.3. He does come with some risk, but
so that's a good one. Cole Anthony, we're gonna go that route.
Yeah, Cole Anthony. Let's see.
Yeah, I think that was one of your guys you're talking about.
Yeah. Let me get back. I gotta find my notes real quick.
We go
so we got Anthony Simons. We got Cole Anthony, and if you want to go Fred VanVleet, that's fine.
I like that play.
All
right, at forward, we're gonna go LeBron probably. I mean, he's just been doing so good.
Yeah, and then we played VanVleet. So I don't like putting VanVleet and Siakam together too often, especially who are they playing? They're playing. That's the Magic game, right? No, that's the Pelicans game.
Pelicans.
Not too. Yeah, I probably just play one of those two guys.
Okay, so let's play another forward. Who we got at forward?
Let's see.
Evan Mobley.
So let's see who we got now. We just have LeBron James so far at forward.
Yep.
I probably play LeBron James, Evan Ingram, or not Evan Ingram. Excuse me.
Evan Mobley.
Brandon Ingram, 1.2.
Okay.
And then if we're playing safe still at forward, I probably play Jaren Jackson there.
What's he?
1.35.
Kiara, no.
And hopefully, Hopefully we have the Ja Morant news before the Cleveland and Golden State Warriors game starts. That's the way I'm looking at it, at least.
So then who are we going to play at center?
You can play a lot of guys at center tonight. You can play Nikola Jokic. You can so you can play Jokic. You can play Vucevic. You can play Jared Allen. You can play Joseph Nurkic. You can even play like if depends how safe.
I don't like Allen tonight. I mean, I got Nurkic and everything, or Nurkic and everything.
So let me just say this real quick. This lineup's pretty safe. So if you want to go like a little bit risky, then you could play Alex Len in this lineup at 1.85 since the rest of it's safe. Or you can just go super safe and just play Jokic and have a super safe lineup.
Okay, who was it at 1.85?
Alex Len. That's assuming he starts though.
All right, well, let's do one, and then I'll just add him in my other one. Let's see. So let's go with the safe guy. Let's just do
play Jokic. So the safe would just be play Jokic. The 1x multiplier at the top there.
All right, because we got like 2 minutes, so everyone can get their lineup in.
Yeah.
All right. So you want to read the lineup up?
Yeah. So let's see. Let me get this bigger again. So we have Anthony Simons. So the guards that we have: Anthony Simons 1.45. Cole Anthony 1.3, Fred VanVleet 1.15, LeBron James 1, Brandon Ingram 1.2, Jaren Jackson Jr. 1.35, and Nikola Jokic at 1. So like if you were playing in a cash game, like a 50-50, a double up or something like that, this would be probably a pretty safe lineup for that type of setting. Still can do decently well in one of these regular tournaments, a GPP setting as well.
All right,
but if you want to go super spicy for the GPP setting, you want to put Alex Len in at the center position or Chumo Kiki at the forward position instead of Jaren Jackson, or say Ben McLemore over one of the guards, you can do that too and just kind of mix and match there.
I gotta fucking hurry up and get this one in. Let's see, who do we have? Ingram. All right, who is the guard again?
The center, Alex Len, 1.85.
See if I can get it in here quick enough. Who else do we have at forward?
Jaren Jackson, 1.35.
Where are you?
Right there.
I'm just going to leave it how it is. Whew.
Cool.
All right, so we got it just in time. I hope everyone got their lineups in. We could set a couple lineups in. I mean, one of these is going to hit. One of these is going to hit.
Yes, sir.
I really want to know who got kicked out of that game, Donnie.
Hold on. Let me see. Jets brawl.
Or sorry, MJ. If you're still in here, I want to hear who got kicked out.
Jets, Bills, ejections. It's probably going to be like Gabe Davis since we played him on SuperDraft Pro.
For sure.
There's nothing on Google, so go to Twitter. It's probably trending.
Shit.
Trying
to pull mine up.
You think there would be something more about this?
So you said Jonas a good play for a revenge game?
Who?
I didn't think that.
Oh, let's see. So, he hasn't been on the Raptors in so long. I don't think that matters. I don't really pay that much into revenge narratives. I think he's an okay play, but I don't think he's like the greatest play either. Like
Devonta Foreman today versus Houston.
Yeah, he didn't do crap.
Really? I thought he had a decent game.
I don't think he did. I think he kind of sucked. At least he did it early on when I was looking. Hold on, I'll look again.
Mark Andrews did nothing. I mean, 12 points. It's so minimal. Jonathan Taylor with 11 points. Cooper Kupp with 10 points at right now. Jeez.
Yep.
Gabe Davis has got 3.3. That's like one catch.
I played Gabe too. Let's
Dylan,
see.
what a bum. 10 points. Singletary's
That's why you
11
play
right now.
Patrick Taylor. You played the wrong running back.
Yeah, that's crazy. Why is that the wrong running back?
Because Patrick Taylor was the guy, because they weren't going to play their starters the whole time.
You're right. You're always right.
Plus Patrick Taylor's my boy, dude.
Well, all right.
So,
what's up?
So remember, let me just say this real quick about Patrick Taylor. So you remember how people are like, "Oh, Kenny Gainwell's going to be so good because he kept Antonio Gibson off the field or whatever. He had to play wide receiver or whatever." Most of that was because of Patrick Taylor, but he ended up breaking. He broke his foot. He broke his foot like this. He had this really weird break in his foot. Otherwise, he would have got drafted too. But think about this: at one point in time, Memphis on their team, they had Darrell Henderson, Tony Pollard, Patrick Taylor, Kenny Gainwell, and Antonio Gibson all on the same roster for 1 year. 5 NFL running backs.
That's like the Alabama, and they had just like everybody there, like Ingram.
Yeah, but this is Memphis.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Foreman sucked. Foreman was terrible. Like he had 21 carries for 69 yards. That's not good.
9, dude.
That wasn't good.
No, that's not good at all. Let's wrap this thing up, brother. We're going to be back tomorrow night, and games are back at the normal time, correct?
I believe so. I think this starts at 6 tomorrow. But like on the weekends, it's usually a little bit earlier. And then Tuesday's usually 6:30, but some weeks it varies.
But we also tomorrow night we also have college football, right? College football national championship. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that after basketball. So be ready for that too. We're going to get some lineups set for that, but it's going to be pretty cut and dry. Yeah. Pretty cut and dry. All right. Well, tell them where to find you at, Craig. Let me get this down here quick.
Yeah.
Boom.
So you can find me on Twitter at Coach Craig Sport, and then on YouTube at Coach Craig Sports. If you need to reach out to me for any reason, do not hesitate. Whether it's on Twitter, whether it's on YouTube, leave a comment. I'll answer any questions you guys have, whether it's in the chat here while we're going live here. Pretty much anything you need to know related to any sport. You can ask about any sport. Just don't ask about hockey. I don't know a darn thing about hockey.
It's crazy. We live in a cold-ass state. Both states are cold as hell. Anyways, you can find me at JC Money Design on Twitter, on Instagram. You can also find me on YouTube. This is on my YouTube page, JC Money Design as well. Come holler at me if you need anything. You need anything at all on Instagram or Twitter. Also, what I need you guys to do is go get signed up at sdcoachjc.com so you can get on SuperDraft Pro if you are not already signed up. Otherwise, we're going to be trying to get some tournaments and stuff going here probably during the playoffs. It would be pretty fun. So just be on the lookout for that. Yeah. Let's see here. Any more items with oh shit. What up, Nigel? He says winning lineup. He said Garland, SGA, Lonzo Ball, LeBron, Maxey, Kleber, Anunoby, Jonas.
Hey, Nigel, you know what? I'm gonna look up those guys at the end of the night, and we'll figure out what the score was for that. And if it's the winning lineup, we'll definitely give you guys a good shout out.
Yeah. Did you write those players down? You want me to screenshot it?
Yeah, screenshot that if you can.
Yeah, let me screenshot that real quick. Bang, bang. And here comes the camera click.
Woo.
Appreciate you, Nigel, man. I always like seeing you come around. It's so dope, man, because you coming from a different country and then supporting us out here in the U.S. Appreciate
it's always fun seeing people from different countries.
Yeah, Sunday Night Football. All right, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. There's I think you guys need to be on the lookout too. I think at 6 coming up here in the next 25 minutes or so, Hustler's going to have his second dynasty or his playoff league going for their 100-yard dash. So make sure you're on the lookout for that too. Peace out, everybody.
Yes, sir.